Hello, and welcome to this week's Celestial Muse. I'm Karina Rick, and I am your soul aligned success coach. All about how we use the stars and shadows, the energy in and around us for our highest success. I don't do predictive astrology, but I do help you reach your ultimate, most extraordinary level of success, performance, actualization. And one of the ways we do that is to look at the energy that is around us. And I am sharing the celestial muse, the news of what is happening in the skies above us this week. And it is a wonderful, wonderful setup arrangement this week. Lots going on. Oh my gosh, lots going on. And definitely, if you saw my natal chart, this is a big week. A big week. We've also got a new moon, which I will do a dedicated deep dive into the new moon and all that entails over in Facebook, my wonderful, wonderful private group, Stars and Shadows. But I will touch on it in here as well to give you that overview of the entire week. And as the aim here is to help you understand what's going on energetically so that you can step into your higher success or set yourself up for success. You know, we can do things the easy way or the hard way. We can go with the tide and the trade winds behind us, or we can have them pushing against us. So let's go for making life more easeful. And when you have that flow, great things happen. So let's dive in. So 30th of October, we have Mercury in Scorpio opposite Uranus in Taurus. What does that mean? What does that mean? So for those of you that don't know in detail what that means, the headline is very much about all things thinking, cognition, communication, aka Mercury. In Scorpio, think deep, dark, intense, no time for BS, truth. Opposite, so that, you know, opposites can attract. Opposite isn't overtly a hard angle, but it can be a little bit questioning, a little bit challenging. Uranus, all the revelation, all the revolution in Taurus, which is kind of tricky because it's kind of grounded. That's kind of like feeling at home. That's kind of you know, that grounding energy. So when you kind of work with all of that energy, what you'll be feeling on the 30th is very much coming to you know, joining dots when it comes to thinking in a way that you might not have done before. So you might have been working through a particular issue, you might be working through a particular project, and you'll have an aha moment that will be quite left field. But it will be like, that makes so much sense. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's exactly how I want to be. That's how I want to feel. But it will be it will be left field, but it will make perfect sense once that comes through for you. And it's got maybe it's around the concept of helping you think through an issue that ultimately is going to help you feel like you belong. So there's a kind of a truth to power vibe in all of that, and there is absolutely, you know, what will be coming through for you, or the energy that you can work with is you know, thinking through, joining dots on a potential solution, an understanding, definitely learnings in the mix that's going to help you reach a new state of feeling that you're where you need to be. It might be a bit prickly to start with, though, because of that Scorpio energy, and it's kind of that no holds barred, like deep penetrating incision of a view or of an idea or of an aha. It will be penetrative. It will be like that. So but that's that Mercury in Scorpio is going to give you that vibe. And then the following day, we've still got Mercury in Scorpio, but this is now at the last degree of Scorpio, because Mercury is going to move out of Scorpio into Sagittarius within a couple of days. So this is like getting to, and when planets move and called transit in and out of signs, that's when we feel their energy the most. It's kind of like a final, like full stop, like or even like an exclamation mark to the end of that phase, or it's because it's so new and they move into it, it's like, oh, this feels so different. That we've not been desensitized to that energy when it's new as well. So we've got to when the transits happen, like we've got this week with Mercury moving from Scorpio into Sagittarius, we feel the energy more. It's more noticeable to us. But before we get there, we have got Mercury in Scorpio in a supportive, open aspect with Neptune in Pisces. So that thinking that was happening the day before, very much about to the point, a deep, transformative, taking you to another depth that you didn't know was possible, taking you to a depth of understanding that is ultimately going to transform for you. You're going to get that wrapped up in something more creative or more esoteric on the 31st, which is divine, is it not? 31st October, Halloween, Samhain, as we will be celebrating where I am. And so very much that open to, if we were thinking about the occult on the 30th, we're definitely thinking about it now. And maybe thinking about things in a different way that you've not, like what's on the other side. And if that's too esoteric for you, literally just that flip in the perspective, that will be available to everyone. Seeing something from the other side, seeing things more clearly. That might have been arms length, too out of reach for us up until now. So massive on creativity, massive on spirituality. Those veils are thin. They're thin on the 31st of October anyway. And now we've got this Mercury in Scorpio, supportive aspect with Neptune in Pisces. There will be lots of free-flowing thinking, feeling that you've not experienced before, and how you harness that in terms of your business, how you harness that in terms of the success that you're seeking. It's very much that open-mindedness, that creativity, that inspiration, that intuition is going to come through, and so trust that. It's going to make a whole lot more sense in a really deep and meaningful way. And you will feel the truth of it because we've got that Mercury in Scorpio, last degrees of Scorpio. It's kind of like, it is dark and it is penetrative, but and then the day after we have the new moon in Scorpio. So the darkness has no depth. It's kind of the headline here. What you're feeling into, what you're beginning to be experiencing from the 30th onwards up into the new moon is you'll feel it to your core because it's so deep and definitive that there won't be any I'm not sure about that, or did I get that come through, or it's not going to be like that. It's going to be so on point for you. I hesitate to use the word evolutionary because that's kind of got a iterative, gentle vibe to it, and that's not Scorpio's vibe. You'll know for sure there will be a change. This is all you're being asked to think through what is it that you need? What is it that you need to let go of? What is it that you need to bring out of the shadows? What is it in your darkness that needs to come forward for you to reach your next level? Your next, I said, it is kind of like evolution, your next step forward, but it's it's not as evolving as that. It's more transformative. It's more, this is happening. That's what we've got with the new moon. And any new moon, I said, I'll cover this in more detail over on Facebook, Stars and Shadows private group. But that's that time to really go inward, the reflective practices, the journaling, to really honor and listen to your intuition, that soul deep, bone deep messages that come through for your ultimate good, for your ultimate success. That's going to be on broadcast, loud and proud. And so it's kind of like taking note of it, really, if you want to set yourself up for success. It will feel definitive. There will be an assuredness to it because of that like that pincer of the Scorpio. It's there, and it'll be deep knowing. There'll be no getting away from it. You have free choice. You can absolutely ignore anything that comes through. Any flash of inspiration you can ignore, but they're coming through for your highest good. Whether they're inconvenient or not, they're coming through for your highest good. And then on the 2nd, Mercury enters Sagittarius. So we have a very different vibe from what we're thinking and what we're expressing, how we're expressing ourselves, our communication. It's going to feel very different. And that's going from that really deep, and it is heavy, intense, inky intense, so much potency in that Scorpio energy. The Sagittarius energy is a beautiful mix with Mercury, because it's kind of at the kind of higher level. It's very philosophical, very expansive in thinking and experiencing. But there's a lightness to it. There's a joy and an expansion to it. So maybe what's coming through for you the beginning half of the week, there'll be a way for you to cognise through it at a higher level. Maybe not feeling so emotionally attached to it, but maybe seeing it from a higher vantage point. That's what you get with the Sagittarius energy. And I think that will really help ground in what's coming up for you at the beginning of the week. What does it mean, and how can I use that, whatever came through? So the flashes of inspiration, the way that you've joined dots, the way that you have assimilated information, the way that you have come up with solutions, or the way that you've been questioned and challenged, that really deep, penetrating, speaking power to truth will then be so where does this leave me? What happens if I think so that I am vibe with it all, which is the Mercury in Sagittarius. But before that happens, if only you can see my natal chart, we have Mercury in Scorpio in a really supportive, wonderfully supportive alignment with Pluto, more transformation in Capricorn. And it's like Pluto's like almost finished with Capricorn, but it's like this is the final swan song of Pluto and Capricorn. So transformation is in abundance. It couldn't be on a louder dial. And with Mercury in the final degrees and hours of Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, this transformation is like, for the love of, you've had the inspirational week, what the truth is, you have been nudged, you have been pushed, you have been pulled to what you need to do, that deep, honest, true you, bone deep knowing. As crazy as it might have been, as this week you will have had some batshit crazy ideas, but they are coming from a place of truth. And now you've got that really supportive, and that's a good thing, it's a good thing with Pluto in Capricorn. And how was everything that you've been transforming for, all of the insights that you've had, all of the feelings, all of the deep knowings, all of the intuition, all of the nudging, all of the inspiration, where is that taking you for your highest good? And where is that taking you potentially in areas of ambition and aspiration and leadership, career, profession, leaving your legacy? That's Pluto and Capricorn. That's them right there. And you've had all of that thinking time, you've had all of that inspiration, you've had all of those, fast flowing but deep thinking, thoughts, ideas, ideation, bit of creation as well when we had the beautiful aspect with Neptune and Pisces. This is a potent week. I mean, it's not, thank God it's not eclipse. Thank God it's not eclipse, but it feels like an eclipse because there's so much going on, and it is all that transformation piece. I can't, yeah. And if that wasn't enough, we also have a supportive energy between Mercury, final hours of Scorpio, with Mars in Cancer. And it's Mars's last degree of Cancer before Mars moves into Leo. And if I shared my natal chart with you, I have in my Capricorn is my sun, and I also have Aries there too. And obviously the Pluto and Capricorn thing is like, I'm ready for that to meet. I'm ready. But I also have in Scorpio Mercury and Venus, who also makes them move in a minute. I'm going to talk about her in a minute. So it's a lot going on, and if you're feeling it, I feel it too. But you just have to. These are one of those moments. This is like a pivotal moment in terms of you have everything you need, and this is just allowing you to understand your own truth. It's about understanding your own aspirations, your own desire, your own want. That's all there for the taking. You've got free choice, free will. You can absolutely hide under the desk. You can get under the blanket, drink your pumpkin spice latte and ignore the world if you want to. You totally and utterly can do that. But if you got a sun sign Capricorn, you won't be doing that. No. But there we go. So this let's talk about this Mercury in Scorpio, last degrees, in a supportive, open aspect with Mars, last degree in Cancer. So Mars in Cancer, again, it's a bit like the Uranus and Taurus, not the most obvious pairing. So the energy there is very much with Mars in Cancer is very much, let's pause, let's regroup. What do we need to build our foundations, to go fast, to go slower, to go faster. We're taking a pause at base camp so that we can then do the next push. That's very much the Mars in Cancer energy. So this is now like I'm taking the final view. What is it that I need? What is it that I know? How is that going to help me move forward towards this mission? This is how Mars talks. It's battle energy, warrior energy, and it's always And so in a Cancer sign, which is very emotional, very feminine, water not fire, and very much about how making people feel comfortable. So, Mars has had to take that break. Mars has had to go slow. So more of when that sort of was coming into the early signs of that, we would have felt that energy. And now it's in the last moments of this. Okay. So combining that with Mercury, last degrees of Scorpio, this is like, okay, what do I need? How's this going to help the forward momentum? What is it that I'm being shown? What is in the dark? What are in those depths? What is it that I cannot tolerate anymore? What is it that I am letting go of? Because I need to jettison that to move forward momentum. Because when I get into Leo, we are going all guns blazing. What is it that I need? And it's that final reminder. And this is like kind of the melting pot is amazing. It's just divine. It's all coming through. And so you can feel that the energy is arising. gone deep. We've had the array, we've given opportunity for Neptune and Pisces to have their say. It's very inclusive energy. We're taking on board everything, and that makes it more holistic. That makes it more grounded and rounded. That makes it more wholesome for you. So you can draw on everything, every part of your chart. I talk about my chart like it's off the scale, but it will be for you too. You will have your equivalent, and it's an understanding that this is the full picture. And where's that taking you? Going for on the 3rd, when Mars moves into Leo, we're talking power and glory. We're talking about go, go, go. We're talking about, can it be any bigger? Can it be any bolder? I'm going to say it. Can you be any bolder? Can you be any brighter? After those moments in the dark depths of Scorpio, with the Mercury thinking there, and we're still in Scorpio season, so we've still got that vibe. But these, depending on where if you know where Mars is in your chart, you're going to feel a push to go. So whether that's a new health regime kicking in, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's career and aspiration and leadership, whether it's your spirituality, wherever it sits in your chart, you're going to feel the energy to go big and go bold, based on some truths that have come through for you this week, based on some inspiration you've had, based on the cognizing that you've done to join dots together, all for this transformation. And then we have, and I should say, so we've got Mars in Cancer, final hours, opposite Pluto in Capricorn. Seriously, when I look at my chart, oh my, what else? What else? What else? Of course, that's going to be happening. So, what is it that you need to do? What is it that you need to transform? What is it that you need to step into the next version of you? What is it that is holding you back? And that kind of I want to pull on the Mars and Cancer energy there, which is about making you feel at home, or the stability and security you've got. Whether it's emotional, physical, more emotional than physical, but it could be either. And how is that? And definitely feminine. How is that informing the parts of you that you visited, or the flashes of inspiration that you've had that are talking to that bone deep knowing that you have? I'm facing the darkness. What is it that your future needs that you need to bring out of the shadow? What is your truth? And then finally on the 3rd, we have, I said here she is, we've got Venus in Sagittarius, opposite Jupiter in Gemini. That's kind of that's kind of relationships and value. It's an inquiring energy, so it's not antagonistic. It's not as open for some of the other angles that we've had this week, but it's an inquiring. So it's kind of what is it that you're valuing in your relationships? How are they blossoming and growing? How are they expanding? Where do you find the beauty in your relationships, and how can you have more of that? That's a vibe coming through, and again from a higher perspective, a learning, and there's been benevolence in the mix for sure because of the Jupiter energy, but it's also that we've talked about truth. This is now love and beauty. We're getting the whole shooting match here. And from a shared collective point, you've got Gemini and Sagittarius. So in terms of what community-wise, relationship-wise, in a broader sense, not necessarily an intimate relationship, a broader sense, how is everything that you've experienced this week taking you towards an added benefit, or an added something extra to what you're doing? Some extra joy, more social joy, connected to your tribe piece. I'm with Mercury moving into Sagittarius as well. That communicating on a broader scale is also part of the mix here as well. So understanding relationships on a broader theme. And not forgetting, I said we've got a deep dive on the new moon as well, which I will do over in Facebook. My Facebook group, Stars and Shadows. Buckle up, enjoy the ride. It is wild. If it were a ride, I'm imagining, I'm visualizing it as mostly in the dark, places you've never been before, places you didn't think you could go. You wouldn't also automatically maybe volunteer to go, but you're going to be taken there anyway. You're going to be shown there, and you know what? There will be revelation that comes through from that. That is there to help and support, and you'll come out the other side thinking, "Oh, is that what I needed?" Buckle up, baby. Have a good week, and I will be back next week for more celestial musings. Take care of you.